So the Yankees played the Baltimore Orioles, and Orioles took the game 4-1. We're kind of winding down towards the end of the spring. There's a couple of roster spots to be available, and there's still some fine tuning to that certain players need to do. But Garrett Cole started the game, and today was by far, or last night I should say, was by far his best game of the spring, and he is ready to go. He's locked and loaded, ready to go for the season. Um, his final stats: 5 2/3 innings pitched, 2 hits, no runs, no earned runs, no walks, 5 strikeouts. So he's on it. Okay, and the collection of his entire spring: 3-0, 2.45 ERA, 18 1/3 innings pitched, 15 hits, 24 strikeouts versus only 3 walks. Okay, so he's ready. He's now, and he does this kind of every spring too. He kind of starts slowly and kind of works his way up, and he's at his best, right when his next start's going to be opening day. So he's ready to go. I'm very excited to see, the Yankees play the Blue Jays opening day next week on Thursday at Yankee Stadium, and I'm looking forward to it very much. Aside from that, it wasn't really much to be said about the Yankees. He only had about 3 hits. I mean, Gardner, Sanchez, and I think Aaron Judge had a hit. And the only run that was driven in was by Rob Brantley. I think it might have been a sacrifice ground out or something like that. There was nothing real sexy happening on Baltimore side, either some walks and some singles and things like that. A couple of blips. Aroldis Chapman had his first bad outing of the spring today, and gave up 3 runs, and I think it might have been a third of an inning, something like that. He got hit pretty hard, and so did Brooks Kriske. He got hit pretty hard too. So both of them have been mostly dominant throughout this spring, and it seems this happens to, I think, almost all the Yankees too. For the most part, everybody throws really, really well, and then one day they just have a stinker, and Chapman had a stinker today. So, but aside from that, he looks good. His velocity is already in mid-season form. And he's found another out pitch with that lefty splitter, and it looks really, really good. So, and the fact that he throws so hard, and then he can bring that to his arsenal, I'm really looking forward to seeing what he can do. And I'm really hoping that the rest of the bullpen not only obviously stays healthy, but Britton and Justin Wilson come back, healthy and full strength at some point too, and then it'll be a complete bullpen. But I could see Luke making it in, Nick Nelson or Brooks Kriske. There's a lot of guys that have a shot at making the bullpen, but I would definitely be keeping a couple of long relief guys. If Ulysses Chassin has a shot, he could be a really valuable long relief guy, as well as Chad Green and Clark Schmidt when he comes back. And the significant move that happened today, is, aside from Garrett Cole's dominant outing, was Deivi Garcia was optioned to AAA, which confirms Domingo Germán to be the 5th starter starting the season. So, that's what it looks like right now. Davey's Davey will get some more and I think it's the right move. Get a little bit more seasoning in the minor leagues, and now that the pressure's kind of off of him with Germán there, he can work on some of the things that he needs to work on before he can be ready to come back. And I do think he'll be back in short time. I don't think he'll be back any later than probably May or June, to be honest with you. So, but that's so it's Cole, Kluber, Montgomery, Tyone, and Domingo Germán seems to be the top 5, the 5 starters in the Yankee rotation right now. And with Deivi Garcia waiting in the wings, as well as Clark Schmidt kind of slowly working his way back. I mean, he did have a little setback. They say he's still feeling a little bit of discomfort, so they're taking it easy with him. So hopefully he'll be back at some point too. But hopefully he gets to the point where he can be another one of these long relievers too, going out and throw with maybe 3 or 4 innings. And just throw those darts, throw as many darts as you can out there, and see if you can get a bunch of guys out. And I think the same goes with Chassin, and some of these other, even Mike King. Mike King had a blip the other day, had a bad outing yesterday, but he still has some potential too. But I think he's being leapfrogged by some other guys. So, now with that said, the Yankees for the most part seem to be pretty set. The bats are a little bit quiet. There's still 2 roster spots that are still, being battled for. The one between Mike Tauchman and Jay Bruce, and the other between Tyler Wade and Derek Dietrich. Tyler Wade made a couple of fielding errors today, unfortunately, but he seems to have taken the leg up on Dietrich over the last week or so, and Tauchman has seemed to, who's well regarded in the clubhouse and on the team, seemed to have taken a leg up on Jay Bruce. So that's going to come right down to the wire. I know there's some opt-outs, but decisions hadn't been made yet. And I think tomorrow, the 27th, is the day that the Yankees are going to decide what to do on their end. So, and after that, the lineup will be, the lineup and the roster will be pretty set. The 40-man and the 26-man. So, they're going to be traveling up north. I think they might have one or two, or maybe 2 or 3 more games actually before the season starts. They'll have a day off, and that day off, I'm going to do a video, my whole kind of Yankees outlook for the year, and my kind of statistical, maybe pitching predictions. Now that we'll have an idea of who exactly is going to be on the 26-man. So I'll do that right before the season starts, and then I'll be doing recaps after every regular season game as well, so that you're up to date on what's going on. I'll do a breakdown of the game. I'll do a little bit more in-depth breakdown than I did in the spring, because spring is just kind of going through the motions, and guys are still fighting for roster spots, and guys are still building up arm strength and leg strength and everything else. So kind of kept the recaps relatively low-key because the spring season is mostly low-key. But I'll go into a little bit more in-depth recaps and with a little bit more specificity when the season's here. So, because then everything will be counted. So, records, stats, the whole thing's going to count. So, I'm definitely going to take it with that same kind of intensity that the players are going to be taking with the season. So, but I hope you enjoyed these recaps. If you do, hit the thumbs up. It's really, really helpful. And I'll be breaking other news as well throughout baseball. Eloy Jimenez from the White Sox, one of their young superstars, is going to be out for maybe 5 to 6 months. So that really stinks. Fernando Tatis Jr. has some shoulder discomfort, and one of the Rays, Tampa Bay's relievers, I forgot who it was, maybe Nick Anderson. He's going to be out for a while too, an arm injury. So there's the Yankees aren't the only team that are suffering some injuries. So but hopefully the Yankees will come back in good health. Hopefully the rotation stays healthy. Hopefully the rest of the bullpen stays healthy, and our depth is enough for them to withstand some injuries and protect the team. But I'll say it again. I hope that Deivi Garcia comes back sooner than later, because I think early in the season would be a good idea for them to utilize the 6-man rotation to preserve those arms. Because then I said this in a lot of other videos, even though it's redundant, going from a 60 to a 162 game season is significant. And pitchers going from maybe 67 innings up to 200, that's significant. Generally in the minors, they don't increase by more than 50 innings per year to protect pitchers, and I think the same approach should be. I think this year should be a bridge year to 2022 in terms of pitching to preserve those arms, especially guys that are on really expensive long-term contracts like Garrett Cole. I think it's important to protect them. But that said, teams are going to do what they feel is most appropriate. They're going to probably try to get those guys right back up to 200 innings. So I just hope that nobody gets hurt, particularly in the Yankees. But anyway, I hope you enjoy this. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do so. I'm trying to get the channel to 2,500 subs and subscribe. And even if you don't plan on watching all the videos, that's okay. It's really helpful to the channel's growth. And please share this with other folks who are baseball fans that that you think might enjoy this. And if you want to see the next videos, just hit that notification button and you'll be notified when they come out. So, but they'll be coming out pretty much on a daily basis. So, thanks for watching. Have a great weekend. Talk to you next time.